Hello gamers! I want to welcome you to my Game Awards for 2024. In this event, I will rank all the games I have played this year and recognize them for certain events. Moving to the first event of this video, the overall rankings, and we will kick this event off with my opinion on Robocop Rogue City. For this game, I'll put it at B, mainly because I loved the main story. However, besides that, there wasn't much else. The side missions were lame and the characters felt dull, but the action was superb. Cuphead is next, and it is immediately going into the S tier. I love Cuphead, so much that I own 2 copies of the game, both with a 200% save file. Cuphead is and will forever be a special game in my heart, because I played it with my father, and we had a blast. Moving on, Dragon Ball Z Kakarot is going in A tier. I loved the fights and playing as Goku, and it was a good way to recap on the original anime. However, the intermissions and forcing you to play as useless characters puts it down a peg. Sonic Forces is, going into D tier. It's a terrible game. However, I do like it because of the OC I got to make, but there's not much else. Crash 4 is a B tier, as the main game was super fun, but the collectibles were a freaking nightmare. But on the bright side, Bendy and the Dark Revival is an A tier game. It was the perfect sequel to the original, and I enjoyed it a lot. Except for the Ink Demon talking, I do think he should have been kept mute to build the fact that he was a mindless beast. The Henry Stickmin collection is a C tier. At its best, it was a funny, quirky little game, but it was just a bit too short and I breezed through the game with minor issues. The next game, Sonic Superstars. I didn't really enjoy this game too much, as I prefer the modern talking Sonic. However, the story was a big plus. It's so much better than Forces. The next game going in S tier is Dark Souls. And funny story, at first I hated this game, but with my friend at my side, I gave it another go, and I found the beauty in this dark game. I mean, literally, I couldn't see a thing. The collectibles were a bit jarring, but what got me through it was the Souls duplication glitch that I exploited to get max stats. Yeah, I know, it might be considered cheating, but I gotta take what I can get. Joining Henry in C tier is the Spyro trilogy. In this set of 3 games, I love the first one, but the second and third, not so much. This is mainly due to the collectibles being the same as well as the story. It all kinda just fell apart for me. But a game that didn't fall apart is Job Simulator. It is such a great VR game. The comedy, Jobbot, and the mugs. So many mugs. It deserves the A tier. God of War 3, without any words, goes in S tier. The violence and murdering of gods, I was surprised at how different these games were from the new ones. However, I loved punching my problems all the same. Sekiro Shadows Die Twice is joining God of War in the S tier, and I have a lot of memories with this game. And after I completed it, my friend Andrew, who was the person that convinced me to give Dark Souls another try, he wanted to play the game. So I happily returned the favor and helped him through Sekiro, although he still hasn't completed his first playthrough. Moving on, Helldivers gets an A tier, as I love playing with my friends and strangers alike. Although near the end it got a bit repetitive, mainly because I played during the Dark Ages, where guns were useless and automatons sniped you from the other side of the map. But all in all, I enjoyed killing the space bugs. Another Sonic game, Sonic Colors, is actually really good, so I'll give it an A tier. The story and jokes were cringy, but I still had a blast with my favorite blue blur. On second thought, B tier is a better suit. Skyrocketing its way to S tier is Doom Eternal. I am a massive fan of the Doom games, and I'm going to pre-order Doom the Dark Ages when it releases. No questions asked. And I'm also going to play it on the hardest difficulty I possibly can, just to get that authentic Doom experience. Moving on, Cult of the Lamb is a fun survival resources management game with a dark story. I liked it at first, but after the 100th day, the tasks just got repetitive, and it drew out the last strength I had to continue playing. But Destroying All Humans is a basic game, good assortment of collectibles, and a story narrative that didn't really need to be thought out, just destroy humans. But it didn't age too well, so I'll give it a C tier. Dark Souls 2 is next, and I have a lot more motivation to play this game as opposed to Dark Souls 1. But having to play the game 4 times for stupid stuff puts it down several pegs, in my opinion. But Sonic Frontiers is deserving of that S tier placement, from the musics to the boss fights, and not to mention Big the Cat. This game had it all, and I still listen to Find Your Flame and Undefeatable because of just how good it was. The Sonic team nailed it with this jam. The Legend of Zelda Link's Awakening is a perfect introduction to the Zelda series, and I really want to play Echoes of Wisdom now because of it. I did have my gripes about the game, but it still deserves a high ranking, so I'll give it an A. Now the last game on this list is Space Marines 2. It is peak. Everything about this game is phenomenal. Killing Tyranids and heretics in the same game, not to mention Big Daddy Titus returns from the depth of Gaia to hand deliver me an experience that can only be described as absolute cinema. If you couldn't tell, I really love this game. After a bit of shuffling, I decide on my final placings, and this is the rankings of all the games I've played. Now we shall move on to the Single Achievements Awards. For my first award, the best music soundtrack of any game, the nominees are Cuphead, Helldivers 2, Sonic Frontiers, and Doom Eternal. The winner is Sonic Frontiers. The best online game, and there are only 2 nominees, Helldivers 2 and Space Marines 2. No surprise, the winner goes to Space Marines 2. What a fantastical masterpiece. The Too Cool for School achievement is tough, but the nominees are Doom Eternal, Space Marines 2, Sekiro Shadows Die Twice, and God of War 3. The winner is Doom Eternal. Don't worry, I'm nearly out of ideas. The best VR game by default is Job Simulator. Give a round of applause. The best combat system achievement with the nominees of Space Marines 2, Doom Eternal, Sekiro Shadows Die Twice, and God of War 3. And the winner is Sekiro Shadows Die Twice. I really love sword-based combat. Up next is the Power Satisfaction achievement. This award has many contenders, and by many, I mean 2. They are Space Marines 2 and Doom Eternal. And the winner is Space Marines 2. And the best looking game achievement also goes to Space Marines 2. A change of pace. Most anticipated game to release goes to Doom the Dark Ages. Oh, I can't contain myself, I want to play it so bad. But we move on to the last 2 achievements. The second to last achievement is Best Platformer, with the nominees of Crash 4, the Spyro Trilogy, Sonic Superstars, and Dark Souls 1. And the winner is Dark Souls 1. Now, for the moment you've all been skipping to, the Game of the Year achievement. The nominees are Space Marines 2, Sekiro Shadows Die Twice, Doom Eternal, Dark Souls 1, Sonic Frontiers, and Helldivers 2. The winner of this achievement is Space Marines 2. Round of applause. Thank you all so much for watching, and I can't wait for what the next year brings. But if you want to see any more of my content, check out my channel, and you can also join my Discord, which I'll leave in the link below.